All right, well, what's going on, everybody? I am sipping on a little berry smoothie that my wife makes me, trying to keep me healthy and stuff. But today we're going to talk about probably one of the best decisions I've made ever in my life when it comes to storage for your gun safe, because this is the kind of thing that really changes everything about the inside of your safe. If you are anything like me, you love some organization. Like, I'm to the point where I still roll my socks and my underwear in my drawer. And that's probably something that stuck with me from the Army, but I've always been that way. I just love being organized and knowing right where things are. We don't get that out of safes. The typical shelving and storage areas inside of safes, it's really bad. And we always end up playing tactical Tetris, just like unloading all kinds of stuff to try and get to something in the back. And being a former military guy, I loved how armories were set up, where everything was just linear, straight line access. You just reached and grabbed and you went. And I really wanted that for my safe. So I took some time and I kind of did some research on what I would want to do to the inside of my safe as far as like a retrofit kit. And doing all of that research, you pretty much find out whether you're buying a, $8, $9, $10,000 Fort Knox or a, $1,700, $1,800 Stillwater like I have. Most of the interiors are almost exactly the same. And you really don't just get much. They organize or say that they're like organized for like 64 guns or something like that. And you can just never get that in there unless you just stack them from the ceiling to the floor on top of each other, and you just could never get anything from the first three out of there without taking half the stuff out. In all of the research I did, I stumbled across SecureIt. So they build armories for special operations, and being a former special operations guy in the Army, I love organization, and I really like the way that these were set up. So they're built on their own kind of patented technology, and it just seemed to be the right fit for what I wanted to do to my safe. And the cool thing is they don't just make like walls that you can do this on, they actually make specific retrofit kits for your safe, no matter what brand it is, so you can enjoy the luxury of organization too. There's still a few things I'm going to add to this over time, and I'll kind of show you what it could look like, and then I'll show you what I still have kind of piled up on the sides and everything towards the end. But this gives you a really good idea of what they offer, what you can get, and how much organization you can put in your current safe, because I have a lot more stuff than most people just because of the channel and what I do here. And I like to buy different things. There's also a couple of pitfalls if you don't pay attention to. You could lose a little bit of storage space or not maximize it to the potential it could be. And when it comes to anchoring it in there, that we're going to talk about to ensure you guys get off on the right foot and don't waste any time with this, having to redo something or take screws out and put more screws in. We're going to go over all that stuff because I kind of did the research for you, made a few mistakes along the way. So I want you to get the maximum benefit, because there's a way to get a little bit more out of the retrofit kits than what they are just kind of statically designed as. Let's talk about those retrofit kits themselves. So you can get these in 2, 6, or 12 setups, depending on how big your safe is and how much stuff you want to try and cram in there. On mine, I've got a 12 kit, and then I've got a 6 kit across the front of the door on a shelf that they sell as well. So these are pretty nice, and they come with everything you're going to need. That retrofit kit is going to come with that wall with that Cradle Grid technology. It'll come with the cradles with the bungees, and it'll come with these stock bases. So it's really good to go right out of the box. You don't have to order extra stuff. It comes as a full complete kit. On that note though, I will say there is some installation hardware included, but you're definitely going to need a lot more if you're going to be hanging stuff like I did on here, because that's a lot of weight. And if you get like 6 or 8 anchors in there, you're going to need a lot more. So the panels themselves are called their Cradle Grid. They're made out of a pretty decent gauge steel, and they're basically louvered. So those openings in there are generally called louvers. People used to do that to like the hoods of hot rods and stuff like that. And all of the attachments basically slide in there and then have set screws in them like the Cradles do. And that's what's going to hold that thing firmly in place so nothing wiggles or moves around or gets knocked over. Those come in 3 different sizes, and they will match automatically to the retrofit kit, or you can buy them separately to add on additional shelves or additional hangers. The stock bases are just that. They're bases for the stock. They have a little angular design in them with kind of steps on them. So they'll pretty much fit anything from shotguns to collapsible stocks, hard stocks. Any of that stuff is going to fit in there. And then they have some locking edges, so you don't have to worry about like one not fitting next to the other. They kind of clamp together and lock in there, so you're not going to have any space between them. And then you just push or pull them out or in as far as you want the angle to be, as everything laying up against the wall. You can pretty much figure that out yourself, because you're going to have different optics and stuff on your setup. So you may need to have a little bit more of an angle a little less of an angle, or put them in one way or the other, whether it's, you know, forward or backwards, depending on how you're looking at it. And then those cradles, they just slide right into those louvers. They have those bungee cords and those little knobs on the end, and that securely holds the barrels in there, so you're not gonna have anything wiggling around. They're big enough to fit most modern muzzle devices, suppressors, all those things. I've got everything in this from 6.5 Creedmoor barrels to 5.56, 223 suppressors. All that stuff is going to fit inside of those cradles. They have a pretty wide mouth, and they're gonna hold everything in there very securely. Getting into that install a little bit. So these are gonna be held in by drywall anchors. So on the inside of most of your common safes you're gonna find out there, it's basically drywall in there, and that's your fire protection. So you use your common drywall anchors for these. There are some included with the kits, but I would suggest using a lot more. What I like to do is I like to line all the way across the top, all the way across the sides, the bottom, and then kind of do an X pattern on each panel. And I found that that holds them very securely, especially when you were hanging a lot of stuff on there like those pistol pegs and all that. That just seemed to be the sweet spot where it wasn't too much, it was just about right. And as far as the depth of the anchors you can use, you kind of have to figure that out on your own. Maybe use a punch or, you know, bend out a paper clip or something and poke through until you hit the metal. I found that 1.25" anchors worked just fine in my safe, but yours may be thicker due to the fire rating, or it could be thinner, or you could have none at all. So you need to figure that out prior to deciding what you're gonna go with here. And another thing to keep in mind with those anchors is as you're drilling into that interior, you need to make sure that you kind of get the carpet out of the way. So depending on what type of carper or velour or whatever you got in there, it could get wrapped around the bit a little bit and pull, but especially when you go to set the anchors in there, if that carpet catches on them, it's gonna catch the anchor and keep it from seating properly, and you're gonna bend, break, or just kind of distort and ruin a lot of those anchors. So what I did was I just kind of opened that hole up with a screw, or actually cut a couple pieces. It's not difficult, just spend the extra time, get it right the first time, because even if you cut, you know, a 1/4" square of that carpet out, it's gonna be covered up by those panels anyways. And once those panels are in there, this is where the fun begins. It's just an organizational process at this point. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a couple minutes as the video goes on, but you really need to determine how you want to organize them. You know, long to short, short in the middle, tall to the end, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. I think I kind of got lost in there somewhere. I've got some shorter stuff kind of in the right side on the end, and then it goes tall again. It really doesn't matter. You can just put anything anywhere you want. And then across the top, I've got those pistol pegs on that secondary set of panels that I have. And talking about that organization, let's get into a couple of those pitfalls and how you maximize the storage of these panels or the retrofit kits. So the retrofit kits come with those panels. Now, what I would highly suggest is put the panel as high as possible. So take your shortest thing that you're gonna lay up against that wall in one of those cradles, whether it's an SBR or a pistol of some type, and then measure kind of where you need that cradle. Give yourself an inch or two of play, but put it as high as possible, because you're not gonna have rifles or anything as tall as that panel. At least you won't unless you got a Barrett or something in there, which is highly possible and very cool. But by doing that, you're adding more additional space high where you can put in like those pistol pegs where I have all those pistols, or you can put in a shelf up there, or those bins. It's maximizing the amount of those panels that you get without having to buy more like I did to add stuff up top. I went a little bit low and I didn't want to change everything over, and I already had the secondary panel, so I just kind of went with it. But if you get like the Retrofit 6 or the Retrofit 12, those panels are tall enough to where you can really get a lot above them and not really lose space below it. And talking about mounting those panels, measure from the floor up, not the ceiling down. I did that the first time. I measured from the ceiling down, and what I found out was mine was a little bit crooked. It had kind of bowed and sagged a little bit. So as I was putting in my panels, I kind of noticed a little bit of tilt to them, and they were off level. So I had to pull them out, measured from the floor up, and then I was perfectly level. And again, give yourself that extra space on the bottom, because that's also gonna make a nice area where you can store ammo boxes or something behind those stock bases. Now, one of the biggest things you're going to need to pay attention to is the depth of your safe, because they're all different. So if you're going to install one of these retrofit kits, whether it's a 2, 6, or the 12, you need a minimum of 12 inches interior of depth to allow for optics and everything like that, and those bases to be at the appropriate angle inside your safe. I think most of us are gonna be there. If you've got something thinner than 12 inches, might not be the best fit for this, but If you got about 12 to 16, or mine specifically on the interiors 24 inches, I have a lot of extra space, which is why I was able to do another retrofit 6 kit on the door on the SecureIt shelf. So depth is extremely important, and you need to understand also how much thickness of the door goes inside the safe, or is your door going to be flush on the inside? If you're gonna try to maximize the interior like I did and do a kit on the door and on the side walls, kind of in front of the wall across the back, even if you have a 24-inch deep safe, kind of measuring mine out, you're likely only gonna be able to get maybe 2, 3 maximum additional rifles up against the sidewalls, just because of how deep the door is gonna be and how far the bases need to be off the back wall to appropriately store everything. But if you think about it, if you can get a 12 kit across the back, 2, 3 across each side, and then 6 on the door, you're in business when it comes to clean storage. And finally, the last thing I've already touched on a little bit was get additional anchors. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever your hardware store is, and for 13 bucks, you can buy a box of like 100 drywall anchors in an inch, inch and a quarter, something like that, whatever's gonna fit your needs, because you're gonna need probably 2 to 3 times, if not 4 times as much that come with the kits, to secure this in a way that I feel is good to hang everything that I did on this wall. Now, if you're not gonna be hanging all that stuff on there, you may not need as much. I would suggest several additional anchors per wall panel if you're gonna hang anything more than just the basic cradles on there that come with the kit. Now, I know somebody's gonna ask this and just, what about all of my accessories? I've got lights and I've got lasers and I have pressure pads and I've got flip up sights and all that stuff. How tight is it gonna be in there? Well, you can definitely get away with all of that stuff. The only place it gets a little bit spicy is if you have like PEC 15s, mauls, D-balls, all that stuff, because those things are really thick. But your standard lights on decent like Arasaka mounts that kind of are really tight, almost every setup in there has got a light on it, flip up sights. Some things have other stuff on them and they all fit pretty well. Might be a little bit tight, but you're going to be able to, with a little bit of organizational skills and kind of spatial management, get all of your lights, all of your lasers in there. You may have to skip one here and there if you've got like a PEC 15 on something, or just kind of have to, wiggle it out when you pull it out. But for most of us, the lights and all that stuff are gonna go right in there. And a little bit more as far as maximizing these panels and the space you're gonna get. So behind that back wall where those stock bases are is a great area to store. Maybe you've got some extra lowers in the boxes. Maybe you've got boxes of ammo that you're prime hunting ammo. You get a good amount of room back there depending on the angle that you've got everything laying at on that back wall. Even on that door panel, I've got boxes of lower receivers behind there. I've got some stuff hanging on that wall back there. And that's really gonna open up some ideas for you. Those extra spaces of that cradle grid, you can hang things on, whether it's, you can hang knives on there with the clips, you can hang holsters on there. Put stuff behind there on the bases. There's just a lot of additional areas you can find just a little bit more storage. I've also found that those cradles are actually pretty solid once you do the set screw in there underneath them. And I kind of use those for like hasty shelves. So I've got like magazines sitting on there. I've got holsters, I've got pistols, extra frames sitting on there. And then, my little document bucket sitting up there. So that's just an additional way you can get a little bit of extra storage out of these things. And then obviously, if you have any more of that wall left, you can check out the bins or the shelves or everything else that they sell as well. So what is the overall quality of this stuff? And I'm gonna say, honestly, I flat out love it. Everything in there was good, from the panels to the cradles to the stock bases. It seems very well made. I didn't have any issues with everything. It went right in. Nothing was deformed or messed up or banged up. Everything was good to go. And honestly, hands down, one of the best decisions I've made in such a long time when it comes to storage. I hated opening up my safe before this because it looked terrible. I always had to dig, pull 5, 6, 7 things out to get to something. Something would always inevitably tip over when I was moving things around. It was just a disorganized mess in there because of everything that I had in there. Now, I've still got a little bit to go in here. I'm gonna be buying some additional things to kind of maximize this a little bit more. And I'll kind of roll in some footage where you can see all of the additional stuff that's in there, minus with that first video where it was just the kits, where I've got rifles up on the sides now and some laying down on the floor still, and I need to get a couple more of those pistol pegs. So there's some expansion that's gonna be going on here, but I just wanted to see up front what I could do, and then I'll do a kind of a follow-up video with numbers on just how much you can get in a safe the size of the one I have. All right, with all that, what is the cost on this stuff? So they have these retrofit kits anywhere from like 59 bucks all the way up to I think like 379. depending on if you're going to get the 4, the 6, the 12, or multiple. And that's really going to be up to what your needs are. But I'm going to have roughly, by the time it's all said and done and I get a couple of extra accessories in there, I'm going to have right about $1,000 on the inside of that safe. And I can tell you, I'm not even going to blink, because look at what I've done with it. The fact that I will never have to think about organization again, because this thing is maxed out, it's easy to get to, and it's just a pleasure to open up now rather than a terror to open up. And I don't make a dime off of these things if you buy them. I don't have codes or any of that stuff. These are just flat out, they are what they are. What I will say is they have sales regularly and they're pretty good. I think they're having one around the time this video is coming out, maybe a little sooner. And it's pretty substantial. You could save about 20–25% on some things. So just keep an eye on them. You know, they run sales legitimately like every holiday. So save yourself a little bit of cash if you can just wait a little bit longer. Well, that is what I have for you today. I hope you liked seeing the inside of that safe and how it turned out. There will be more to come. And I'm curious to know your thoughts. Would you even think about spending that kind of money, even if it was just the basic kit, you know, $300–400 after taxes and all that? Would you spend it to outfit your safe and finally have some maxed out organization? Because for me, it was just completely the right decision. Definitely get subbed up down below. Let me know your thoughts on everything here. And check out the email list if you want to get in on that email list. Any of those links down below definitely help the channel out, and I would appreciate it if you would use those. But like I said, I don't make anything off the SecureIt people. Get out there on the range, have some fun. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you all on the next one. All right, it's time for Urban Dictionary. So I'll roll a couple pictures in, but as I was doing this and I was having to, like, you know, lay things in piles everywhere, a couple new words came to mind. That first one is going to be pistorgy, like pissed orgy. Pistorgy. If you don't know what that is an orgy of pistols placed in uncomfortable, tight, and cramped positions due to lack of storage space. And the second word is going to be roughuple. That is rough-upple, much like a thruple, if you know what that is. But this is going to be a pile and or stack of rifles in awkward, uncomfortable, yet loving and caressing positions due to lack of storage space. I don't know if I'm going to leave that in the video. God.